In this video, I'm going to be going over the pros and cons of the new Moto G Stylus 5G 2023. Stay tuned. Before I start this video, I'd like to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Poetic. They offer a variety of cases and have something for every type of person, and particularly for the Moto G Stylus 5G 2023, they have two types of cases. The first is their Guardian line. This case not only lets you show off your new phone with its transparent back, but also gives you the option to wear a screen protector as well as covers for the ports at the bottom of the phone, making this perfect for anyone that goes hiking regularly or maybe works a job doing manual labor such as construction, keeping dust and debris out of your headphone jack and charging port effectively. The last is the big boy, and that is the Revolution case. This case offers full body military standard drop protection, the choice of a screen protector or an extra front frame, as well as a pull-out kickstand for hands-free viewing in portrait or landscape mode. And particularly for the Moto G Stylus, we actually in some cases have a hard time taking out the stylus, but with this case it is a breeze to take out the stylus out of this phone, so it's very easy to access that. All of these cases are offered at a great and affordable price, and if you'd like to pick up any of these, I'll leave a link in the description down below. Again, a huge thank you to Poetic for sponsoring today's video. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. I've had this device now for about a week, and honestly I've really been enjoying this device. I think they upgraded a ton of things on this device, and honestly I think Motorola did a bang up job. I think they did a really good job on this device, and we're going to be talking about the good things they did on this device with the pros, and of course later in this video stay tuned because we're going to talk about some things that are bad, of course. Now starting off with the first pro is that this is going to be, of course, having a headphone jack at the bottom of the phone right there, as you guys can see. So for all of those people who like to use their Sennheisers, their AKGs, all of those nice wired earbuds, the ones that have triple or quad drivers and they don't really like wireless earbuds, you guys have the option to go ahead and use that. And of course it's always just convenient to go ahead and go from the laptop. I sometimes, when I use my laptop, I'm using wired headphones, so I love when a phone has a 3.5mm headphone jack to plug it into, and honestly quality and everything has been top par so far, so it's been really decent. And as we're getting closer to the extinction of that, it's great to see it on a phone in 2023. Next pro is going to be the back of this device, and it's gonna kind of be a little bit weird, but you can't leave fingerprints on the back of this device. There's like some sort of film or some sort of water repellent or moist repellent that you usually have on your hands. And we can't leave fingerprints on this device. If it gets wet a little bit or you see a fingerprint, it's going to evaporate like it's gasoline out of thin air just randomly. So this design is beautiful. Motorola, I know you guys are listening because you've changed some things on the devices that I said before as well. So absolutely love this. This is great. I love rocking phones nude, especially when I'm testing them out. This one I'm going to pop a SIM in and probably use it for another month. I love when I get to rock a phone nude. I love when I get to hold this device, especially the comfortability of devices like this. I love how comfortable Motorola devices are, and especially getting to show off the look of this phone with that blue hue. This is a cosmic black, and we have that little hue on the back when we change it or it's in different lighting conditions. So definitely like the minimalistic vibe of this phone, but also most importantly, we leave no fingerprints on the back of this. I know most people are going to wear a case that are going to use this long term, but absolutely love that that's an option. Our third pro is going to be that we have 256 gigabytes of internal storage, and even devices that are around like sometimes even $1,300, $1,400 releasing with storages of 128 gigabytes. It's great that we have 256. I think 128 would have been great on this device, but 256 is just going above and beyond, and I noticed Motorola has been doing that lately, so I really appreciate them for doing that. That definitely adds a lot more value to this phone. And we don't just have 256 gigabytes of internal storage, but we also can expand that storage via micro SD card. So if you guys have a micro SD card, you can pop that bad boy inside of here and you can get an extra 2 terabytes. I don't know who's needing that, but you can go ahead and do that. Our next pro is going to be the upgrade for our processor. Now, as you guys know, our N30 that we got this year had the Snapdragon 695, if I'm not mistaken, and last year we had the same 695 as well. Think about the Moto G Stylus 5G. I know it's $100 more, but we upgraded from the 695 and finally broke the curse of the 695 processor, and we are awarded the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 chipset in here. And it was glitching a little bit when I booted up and playing around for the first few hours, but after that I've had no muck-ups, no glitches, no anything like that. So this is going to be a perfectly smooth phone, especially mixed in with that 120 hertz refresh rate. You guys are going to absolutely love the fluidity that this phone gives. It absolutely feels like a flagship with this processor inside of here. There are some things that make it not feel such like a flagship, but the fluidity is not one of them. So your basic stuff, you know, your day-to-day tasks, watching movies, watching videos, playing games on here is going to be great. We're going to do a gaming test later. Even playing like Genshin Impact, I was playing that on medium graphics. It ran decently well. I don't think it's going to be the greatest in the world for gaming. I don't think this is what that's for. I think it's for people who want a somewhat premium phone with a stylus and stylus features inside of it. But if you guys aren't looking for a stylus device, we're going to talk about the cons in a second, and that's going to be where those show up. But before that happens, I'm going to bring in our last pro, and that is that this device has released at $399. So really impressed with what Motorola has done here for a device that has a stylus inside of it and has features that people want in a stylus. It's not anything crazy or anything like the Apple Pen or things like that. It is just the stylus itself, so it's not an active stylus. But for this device, $399 I feel like is a decent device, and it's kind of filling a slot in the market, you know? And the reason why I'm so impressed that it's $399 is it's actually gone, especially with inflation going on right now, it's gone down $100. So last year, the Moto G Stylus 5G 2022 released at a whopping $499. So to see this go down $100 this year, Motorola has definitely been listening to the customers and absolutely looking at the economy. And with everything this phone brings, I think it is a good, solid device for anybody that wants something that's not a flagship, because the only other offering that has a stylus and it has something at least this premium is about $400 or $500 more. So definitely appreciate Motorola for closing that gap for anybody that was coming from the LG Stylo series. They definitely did some good stuff. And going in with the two cons on this device, and yes, I only have two cons so far, so stay tuned for the full review. We're going to go over everything later on. The first con I think is pretty obvious, and it was one of the things that the N30 had as well, or didn't have rather. We only have 1 year of OS updates on the Moto G Stylus 5G 2023. So that kind of sucks, especially when we look at devices like the Galaxy A54. That's pretty similar, if not almost the same on certain discounts and price. The Galaxy A54, of course, we go from Android 13 to Android 17, so that 4 years of OS updates. So if you guys don't want a phone with a stylus and you don't really need a stylus, there's going to be many more options, and that's going to be our next con. There's only one OS update inside of here. I don't know how many security patches. If somebody knows, let me know in the comment section down below. But that was kind of disappointing. And of course, segueing into our last con, as I was talking about before, other options at this price point, like the Pixel 6a, which is only about $40 more, and the Pixel 7a at only $100 more. Both a much better software experience in my opinion. It's a stock Android experience. This kind of offers the same thing, don't get me wrong. This has a very, very light skin over it, and I think Motorola has mastered the stock Android experience without being stock Android. But on those devices, you get a much more premium build, you get much more consistent cameras. We'll take a look at these cameras later on. I don't think these are bad by any means, but you're gonna get a much better experience from those. Also, just everything's a lot more optimized. Even video games run smoother, even though it has a 60 hertz refresh rate on the 6A and a 90 hertz on the 7A. It just looks better, and the specifications and processors are just going to run things better on those. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I think this is a great device. I can recommend it for anybody who wants a stylus. If you guys do not care about a stylus and you guys could take it or leave it, I would go with the Pixel 6a or Pixel 7a, and there's many other options out there as well. But leave it in the comments down below what you guys think about these pros and cons, and if you guys have your own pros and cons, let me know in the comment section down below as well. But hopefully you guys have a great day. This has been Stefan from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.